Hi, guys. I have been just sitting and pondering what I was going to talk about today. And the energy that kept coming back up is plant medicine and my journey through CHS, all of that jazz. I have developed a deep, deep love and passion for her. I was 14. I was with a group of my friends. We were just hanging out, and I'll just never forget, I was laying down and the room was spinning and everything was slow, and I didn't necessarily love how I felt. So I didn't try again until much later in my life. After my divorce, I had met he was or is still a biologist, and he taught me everything that I know about plant medicine. Truly, if it weren't for him, I wouldn't be who I am, that's for dang sure. But he taught me everything. He taught me all about the endocannabinoid system and terpenes and cannabinoids and what all that is. And sparked a whole nother thing inside of me. I just couldn't get enough knowledge and experience. Experimenter. I'm a 4/6 in human design. And the 6 acts as also a 3. So the first part of my life, I'm experimenting and figuring out what I want to do. And I loved experimenting in plant medicine. I'm really grateful for my relationship with him because not only did he teach me a lot, but he owned a grow. And he was really, really knowledgeable on outdoor growing and about how to handle mold and pests and how to grow organic plant. And it was so cool to get to see someone who came from California. He was born in Oklahoma, but he moved to California, came back, and to see someone who has worked in the plant medicine industry for a long time, in the organic plant medicine industry. He just taught me so much about how numbers don't matter unless it's the terpene number. There's a huge monarch that keeps flying by, and it's just absolutely beautiful. He taught me everything I know, okay? Whenever I got heavily involved, I became a cannabis model, which is it was such a fun time. I was working as a florist at the time. I had a Instagram handle, and it was Lorna Bloom, where I was mostly posting all my floral arrangements from the years and years. I had decided that I didn't want to just show that side of me, and that I wanted to show an all-encompassing side of me, which is kind of why I created In the Grassland, which is a double entendre in and of itself. I live in Oklahoma, which is a grassland, and also a lot of what I was going to be talking about was plant medicine use as a mother and creating community in that. Heavily involved in the plant medicine industry and started working for a processor. Learned a lot there, learned a lot of do's, definitely learned a lot of don'ts. There's a lot of corruption that happens, especially in Oklahoma. It's quite disturbing, and I'm just really grateful that I got all of this hands-on experience because I can now help guide people through what I've learned. There are a lot of grows who do not care about patients. They just don't. They only care about money and greed. And that energy that surrounds greed is deep, deep, deep in that industry. It's not about helping people with why we are using the plant in the first place. I think I saw this firsthand being in cannabis production because I had to try so many products. Being a model, having to try so many products and getting an overload of THC in my system, so much so that I made myself sick. And I didn't realize that I was distracting myself in ritual. I had just gone through the loss of my mom and becoming a mother myself, and I did not realize, this is what's crazy, is I did not realize that I was abusing cannabis. Like, I didn't even know the energy of her yet. I was just enjoying being a creative person. There was no harm, really. I was just creating. I was not sitting in silence, sitting sober. It's just crazy to think about how much I was consuming And you all saw it. I was doing things that I loved to do, having fun with my friends, but I also was not taking care of the chaos at all. Then I developed CHS. Boy, oh boy, that just shook up my whole world. Got it on a random Thursday. I got sick at work, and they had to call an ambulance because my heart rate was skyrocketing, and it wasn't anxiety. I was actually sick. Called the ambulance came. I didn't go to the hospital. I remembered learning about CHS through who was the biologist, because he was teaching me so much about our system and how our system handles it and how it processes it. And I remember him telling me about CHS. You can overdose on plant medicine, because the narrative is that, oh, you can't overdose on, you can get really high, but you can't die from it. So with CHS, if you don't know what that is, literally Google it. There's a whole list of symptoms that happen. One of them being that you get incredibly nauseous and projectile vomiting. There's ways that you can help yourself by getting in a hot bath, shocking your nervous system in that way, but you really cannot rid yourself of CHS until you go sober. I was lucky enough to catch it. There's a few different stages of CHS, and I was in this first stage, and I noticed I was in this first stage. The way my head hurt after consuming was a foggy, muddy puddle, like a frog. It made me feel like a frog. What a weird thing. And the instinct of like, oh, I want to smoke to make this go away would come up, which is a symptom of CHS. I caught it like right after that, where I'm transitioning to like where you start to get nauseous and start to feel like you are going to get sick. I essentially got really white at work, and I was like, oh my God, I don't feel good. And I ran to the bathroom thinking I was going to throw up, and I didn't. I went home and I started to feel better as soon as I took a hot bath. And so I'm like, oh, shiza. And I join a bunch of Facebook groups and I see what's up, and essentially you have to go sober. Otherwise, you're going to keep making yourself sick. And I have a metaphobia. The fear of throwing up is my worst nightmare. So I'm like, oh hell no, I'm not getting this crazy thing that you can't even like, some people can't even eat any type of cannabinoid at all. They can't have chocolate, they can't have anything. It makes them sick. They have to like eat a list of foods that avoids essentially all cannabinoids so that they don't have a flare up. I am very lucky that I did not have to experience that, but I did go sober. I immediately quit. I quit cold turkey. And oh man, it was awful. Withdrawing was terrible. Night sweats, the craziest dreams, the 9. I'm telling you, when people are like, oh, you can't have addiction to, that is not true. My body expelled that shit out of me. It was crazy to experience night sweats and a complete like hormonal shift. I was like, it felt like I was going through menopause coming off of like an addictive substance. I remember thinking that my like whole life was gonna fall apart because I was in cannabis modeling and I was like making money doing things. I remember being really disappointed and feeling like the world didn't have my back. But I needed to get sober. I had a lot of things that I needed to experience and learn and sit with. The thing is, plant medicine is a whole spirit. She is the mother, and she has things that she wants us to experience through her. But a lot of people, myself included, have abused her by looking at her as just an object to be used rather than held sacred. And I often look at the times that I was using her in the past out of just boredom. She doesn't like that. You know, I wouldn't either. Damn. Like, guys, the reverence is gone. After I was sober for a while, I somehow, I don't even know how. Pretty sure my friend brought me a nug. And so I had this nug in my room. I was in a state of connecting to the earth. All of a sudden, I met with this spirit of this plant medicine. And she was speaking to me. She was just telling me, hey, you have sat and you have learned a lot in your sobriety. You have found a new appreciation for me and a new understanding for me in a way that I want to be used, in a way that I want to come through to the world. And you can use me again. However, you must respect me, otherwise I will make you sick again. I've been able to consume and I haven't gotten sick again. However, I can tell when there are times that I'm starting to lean into overconsumption or into abuse or into just not consuming with mindfulness and with intention, because I'll feel muddy in my experience. And it's a reminder to treat her with respect. Like, don't go be a dab bro. Like, don't be a dab bro. You don't have to be high all the time. You want to experience life, not high. You want to feel alive and feel your emotions, and you want to feel them at their depths. A lot of people use her because they want to be distracted, dissociated. I get it. I've been there. A lot of people don't even know that's what they're doing. Wanting to numb themselves because they don't drink or because they like the way that this feels. But whenever you are taking time away, this is something that is in my gene keys, and you are placing it on your addiction, you're not inventing. And you're not able to reach stillness and silence. It's constant chaos. It's the constant need to think. It's the constant need to not be here. It's the constant need to whatever. The addiction. And so, that's where I'm at today. I have a very healthy relationship with her. I don't consume really much of anything that is unnatural process. So, carts, wax, I don't really mess with. I might here and literally there. She doesn't like it. She doesn't like how we've altered her. Okay? So I try to respect her in that. I try to consume lower percentaged things with a high terpene profile. I try to be mindful of the way my body feels whenever I smell the plant. Even in the day. Like if I pick up her and she makes me feel like, ugh, I take note of that. Do not consume her then. She's telling you, if you don't like the way that I smell right now, I am not going to serve you in the way that you need. I truly believe that. Even like this is a strain that I know I usually like the smell of. If I pick it up and if it smells weird, I'm not doing it. I feel really lucky to be able to serve her in a different way than I once did. You are abusing her when you're letting greed come into the forefront of your mind whenever you have her in your wheelhouse. Like, she does not want you to grow her if greed is existent in there. She's here to help people feel good and warm and alive. Again, I'm just really thankful to be able to be an advocate for her in a different way now. And so yeah, that's kind of there's so much. I mean, gosh, that was years ago. It's 2025 that happened. I say years ago. That literally was just like, it feels so long ago. My life has just shifted so much and so much has happened. And I'm just like, dang, now I'm sitting here telling you guys that I went through this whole experience of having to get sober and now I'm able to consume, and it's all different. And I just hold her with a different hand now. The way that I consume her now is I pray for her. I set my intentions before I consume her, and I thank her for what she provides me. And I don't do it all the time. I don't smoke all day long. Take I might consume in the morning and a little at night, or I might not consume all day until the evening, or I might not be able to for a week. But thank you for all of you who have like sat around and like just followed me through this literally crazy experience of CHS and being an advocate for a plant that, like, man, she can be angsty, and I love her for that, and she almost took me out for that. And she wants me to let you guys know, like, this is what's up, because I'm living literal proof of that. Being literal proof of the wrath of plant medicine it just makes me see and appreciate her differently. So much magic comes from plant medicine if we use it with intention, use it with love and compassion. Thanks for listening to this talk today. I love you guys so much, and I love getting to share these things with you and how my journey is just like continuing to unfold. I'm like, damn, I feel cool. I'm lucky. I love you guys. Bye.